episode of Sound Talk Show. Today we are going to code Emacs Lisp. Continue from yesterday. Hello guys, Sound Talk Show. We are going to write a Emacs Lisp command to validate brackets, validate matching brackets to see if you have a missing bracket or misplaced bracket. So we did that yesterday. So let me begin. Let me show you my keyboard and let's begin. So this is Kinesis Foam keyboard. Kinesis Foam keyboard. I did an unboxing and I did a review in the past week. So just check my YouTube tutorial. It's a very elegant keyboard. Okay, and the Nulia trackball. This is my ultimate hacking keyboard. And again, this is a fantastic, fancy ergonomic keyboard, very advanced. This is called Svalbard, S-V-A-L-B-O-A-R-D. I did a review, kind of unboxing, and you search it, you'll find it on the web. Svalbard, S-V-A-L-B-O-A-R-D, data hand. Okay, so I will be using it down the road. And let's begin coding. Okay, so Kinesis keyboard, Nulia trackball, fantastic. Let's begin coding. So let's show. So we did this yesterday, and I cleaned up the code. So now the code is much better, but there's more to do. Okay, let's begin coding, and let me tell you what to do. Let's write it out. Okay, I'm just gonna go slowly. If you are watching this offline, play it at speed 1.5 or skip around. If you are here, say hi. Okay, so we have a command. Let's go to my init file, validate. So that's old code. Validate. Okay, validate bracket. So that's a new code. So there it is. First of all, we define. So this is what we have since yesterday. So we have a list of brackets. Okay, watch yesterday's video. This is called association list. And then the main thing is this command, validate bracket file. Okay, so this is about 50 lines of code. And what this will do is will tell you if I have mismatched bracket. For example, let's open a new file. Let's add some brackets, paren, and okay, square bracket there. That should be good. So I press a key. I already have the key set up, so that would be space TG. No, I forgot what's the key. So let's look up. So Kasa key binding. Okay. So search for validate. There it is, TG. So yeah, that should be space TG. So close that, space TG. What? Oh, you need to yeah, you need to save the file. Okay. So actually I made let's save the file. It's just temp file. Okay, space TG. So you can say, it says brackets valid, you are beautiful. And now if we delete one of the bracket, you see now it's a missing right square bracket. Space TG. Then it will say at the bottom, bracket mismatch in file, that file. Nothing matches this bracket, opening square bracket at position 10. So let's go here. So you can see this is the error message. So this is a command what we coded yesterday. Let's go back. So on a new keyboard, I'm not as fluent. So anyway, so this is the code you can get from yesterday's talk show. Okay, it just validates, check the current buffer or a file. Okay, today what we're gonna do is let's write it out. Okay, this validates a file or current buffer. Okay, if you are calling it interactively. Okay, like by MetaX. Now make this. Now I want to make this to check a directory. Okay, all files to check all files in a dir. Okay, we are gonna write a new command. So write a new command. Let's write a new command. That command will be validate brackets dir. Okay, which check all files in a directory. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing we want to do, let's see. I was thinking make this callable in a shell script. So if you don't know what I mean, let me show you. Control Windows key 1, that gives you my shell. Okay, control scroll up, magnify. So this is PowerShell. I'm on Windows. On Linux, it'll be Bash, or on Mac Z shell. So you can call this script Emacs. The way you call it is Emacs script, then the file name, script name .el, then a directory, the path. Okay, that will check all files in the directory and make a report. So that's another thing. So let's, if we have time, we'll maybe do that. But now we just write this command, validate brackets dir. So you call it metax within Emacs. Hello guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Alareza, hi. Lolin, hi. Vizix, hi. You are beautiful. Yes, you are. Subhajit, hi. Okay, let's write this command. Fantastic, superb. Just realized, have you changed your keyboard from glove? Well, I'm doing a new review for them, so check it out. In the past weeks, there are 2 videos about this Kinesis foam keyboard. Okay, check it out. So okay, so now we're gonna write this command. So let's begin writing it. Fantastic. So let's put this here, and let's copy that name, paste it here. Actually, cut it. D for define. Fantastic. So we are defining a new command, and this command will take a directory. Okay. Validate brackets in all files in the, okay, and recursively, okay, meaning all files in subdirectories as well. And also we need to give a optional argument that is file name extension. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's just name it that. Check only files with file name extension that created today's date, version today's date. Okay, documentation, all important. Most programmers ignore that, which is bad. Okay, so now, so the first thing is to get all files in a directory. Then it's very simple. Then all we have to do is for each file, we just call this function. Okay, so how do you get all files in a directory? Emacs Lisp, the power of Emacs Lisp. Emacs Lisp basics, okay, that's all about Lisp programming language. But you want to go to Emacs Lisp, then there is how do you walk a directory. Right here, walk a directory. Okay, directory files. So here's a function. Now this doesn't recurse, it's not subdirectory. So we want, do we want all subdirectories? Yeah, we want all subdirectories. So directory files recursively. By the way, that recursively thing popular in Unix. You know, like when you do a ls. When you do find, when you do copy -r, you know, they all say recursively, but that's an idiotic name, because recursively infers it kind of infers the implementation is recursive, but what you really mean is including all nested subdirectories and their subdirectories. So, but anyway, recursive is kind of gets you the idea, but it's not, in some semantic sense, it's not the correct word, okay? Because recursively refers to, wait, okay, let me explain this well. So the word recursively, it infers nesting. It infers nesting, and it infers an action. Okay, it mostly connotes with the idea of something that is nested. Okay, something that is nested, or some action that is somewhat nested. That's a situation you say it's recursive. Mostly the word recursively is used in computer science. Now, I'm not sure if it's, that's an interesting question, okay? Digression is an interesting question. I'm not sure recursively what's the etymology, but I believe it's predominantly today, in the past, let's say 50 years, used in programming only, computer science or programming, or mathematics, okay? Math first, because in mathematics, that's a foundation of mathematics. You have recursive functions. That's the original idea. When they are trying to define precisely what can be computed, okay? So that's a subject in theoretical computer science, recursively. But anyway, so I think it is my guess that the term recursive or recursively is used predominantly, like almost nowhere else, just in math, computer science, programming, okay? Now, but let's look up the etymology of recursive. Recursive, so space H etymology E, okay, that's XAR. By the way, the pink window shows all my commands, so that's one of my command XAR lookup etymology, and space HE, so you can see it's in one of my package XAR lookup. You go there, and you go there, you can see you got all these commands. Look up Google, Web, Yandex, Wikipedia, look up street maps, look up word definition, look up dictionary or Wiktionary, or etymology, or synonyms, or dictionaries. So that's one of my package. You have to pay to get it, okay? Because in the past 20 years, everything is free, and people just bug you for tech support and all that. So anyway, so here's the website. So anyway, let's go back. Recursive, there it is. So I want to magnify. Okay, so control scroll up, okay? Now, recursive adjective, okay? Recursive adjective, periodically recurring. Okay, so it describes something that recurs, that happens again and again, okay? So first of all, that's adjective, okay? Now, wait, okay, so I need to get rid of the control, okay? I have sticky keys on, by the way. So then recursive now, return backward movement, okay? Return and backward movement from 1610. Okay, the recursive adjective periodically recurring is from 1790, okay? So recursion is from 1610, from Latin recursionum something. Running backward return, okay? So running backward return, okay. So when you say a function that will list all subdirectories and their subdirectories, can you say, is it appropriate to say recursively? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay, I guess so. Yeah, so that's a good definition in computer science, recursive. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to copy, go to Xar Talk Show, and Xar Talk Show, show in browser, and go back. So now this is a new keyboard, so I don't have all my keys, Markwell keys set up. But anyway, so there's a link to Xarlook web. Okay, let's go back to the problem we want to solve. Okay, close this. Next. Okay, let's go back to here. Yeah, so recursively. Okay, so yeah, what you do is you want to yeah, directory files recursively. Okay, directory files recursively. There it is. Abbreviation, fantastic template. Okay, so the is gonna just be the. Regular expression is going to be the file name extension, but regular expression. Okay, so the way you do that is you concat / dot with file name extension, and then a $sign, okay, because $sign in regular expression means the end of string. Okay, so that part is the regular expression. Okay, then the rest arguments are optional, so include directories, no. Okay, include directories, nil. Predicate is the function that filters, I believe. Include subdirectories, true means in a result include paths that are directories. Okay, no. The predicate is a filter on which subdirectories to dive into. Rejects is applied first before. Okay, we don't care, we don't have a predicate. Nil follows sim links, nil. Okay, nil, then we don't need to write it, just nil. Okay, so let's give a local variable x file, x paths. Okay, so this keyboard, Kinesis Form keyboard, has a low profile key switch that is 50 grams linear switch, kind of pretty silent, so 50 grams, but that's still too heavy for me, so I have to, sometimes I press not hard enough and I don't get action. Okay, so anyway, so a bunch of file paths, directory file recursively. Okay, we got a bunch of files path, and now all we have to do is we call xar validate completion. Okay, we want to call that function. We want to map this function to this bunch of file path. Okay, so what you do is you map C. Map C means do not return the result. Okay, so it's like for each. So here is one bunch of file path, and this is a function you want to map to. Okay, the function. So actually, the function, all you need is just the function name. You don't need the lambda, and you need to code it. You need to have a apostrophe in front. So clean up the code. So I think that's it. So map this function to this bunch of file path. Okay, so in fact this is so supreme. Let's make it one single line. So I think that's it. Anything else? Okay, so when you are calling, so now actually this should work. So the way you call this command is just that, and give a directory, for example, let's say that, then file name extension. Okay, what if what if when the file name extension is not given? In that case, okay, in that case, just all files, okay. So in that case, we can use an empty string to get all files. Let's test, okay. So for example, directory that, okay, directory that, and a regular expression, empty string, and evaluate this. It should return all files in this Emacs init. Let's do it. Run it. Fantastic. Go to messages buffer. Fantastic. Copy this line, new buffer, paste it, make each line a line. So basically, yeah, you see, wait, what is sample? Oh, it even went to the git directory, the .git. So that now you got thousands of, you know, past files or something. Interesting. So you do want to ignore git. Yeah, so fuck. That gets more complex. Yeah, you want to ignore git. So close that. Close this. What if you put a dot here? Dot means any file. I think same result. Yeah, same result. So the question now is, if the user does not give a file extension, what should you do? This is kind of a design issue, okay? If the user does not give a file extension, what should the program do? So that's one thing. The other thing is that you do want to ignore git. Okay, so we got, so kind of design issues, you have to think about. So, but shall we just simply ignore this problem, just hack, like for now, just assume we're gonna check HTML files only or something. But anyway, let's just do it properly. We have time, okay? So, I mean, long time no see. Coffee. Who are you, Coffee? I don't remember who are you, Coffee. Am I doing good? Am I alive? Yes, looks like I'm still alive. That's good. Okay, so 2 issues. What happens when the file extension is not given? Do you want to make it optional? Yeah, so when it's optional, when it's not given, just use anything. Okay, so first of all, solve one problem at a time. So, okay, so let's do that. Let's say XEXT, that's file extension, okay? Now, set XEXT or, now if there's a file extension, then use that. Otherwise, I don't like to use or. Okay, let's use if. Proper coding, because or, by the way, that's an interesting question, because or operation is usually used as a short circuit for if statement. So, for example, if you want to do if x, then 1, if otherwise 2. Okay, wait. If, okay, 1 is over here because of the staggered keyboard, so I got used to the grid, so that's why I made it mix. God. 2, okay. So, suppose this is what you want to do. If something true, then 1, otherwise 2. Now, usually people can write it this way, okay? Or, what? So if x, you want return x, otherwise something, right? So but a shortcut is just or x 2, 2. Okay, so this is kind of the same as that. Similarly, in Bash, typically you'll see it in Bash, in JavaScript, in Python. Okay, that's idiotic. Okay, let me digress. Let's digress, because our talk show is about digression, because there are so many wonderful and different things on earth that you can explore. Not just the mainstream, mainstream just, do professional crap. Okay, so programming hacker code, a collection of articles about everything about hacker. So you got on Lisp syntax soup. We want to go to semantic noodles. Okay, why I hate C, why I love Golang, why I love PowerShell. PowerShell complexity indeed. Why Bash sucks. But today we want to go to or considered harmful. Yeah, I haven't talked about this online, so let's talk about that. Search for or search for logic. Okay, there it is. Programming idioms and style section. Logic operator as control flow. One of the idiocy of the mainstream programmers, including the elite hackers, like the Unix idiots. They typically they are elite. They tell you what to do. You'll see this in style guide in Python, Perl, whatever style guide. They say, oh, by the way, the idiomatic way is you should do it this way. JavaScript, for example, here, you see, var x equals to y or 4. Or this so this is JavaScript. Here you have Python. There you have Bash with the ampersand, very common. Okay. By the way, there's another twist with Bash, because ampersand is actually end, but because the idiocy of the Unix idiots, extreme, those Unix idiots, they have their return value. When something returns successful, they return 0. Okay, it's kind of reversed from what's more sensible. When something is successful, it returns 0. When something fails, it returns 1. Why is that? Why do they do that? Because when something fails, it can return a different integers, 1 or 2, to indicate what kind of error. So that's why they do that. So in Bash, you have you use the end instead of the or. Okay. So anyway, here are some examples: JavaScript, Python, Bash, and Emacs Lisp. You see, you'll see this very common. In fact, people will tell me, "Hey, Ksa, you should use or." Because because that's more idiomatic. Okay, no, you are an idiot. Okay, so this is a problem of why? Basically, or is a logical operator. Let me show you an example. Why the idiocy of this brainless, non-thinking mainstream. They think they are elite hackers. Facts. Okay. Let me tell you right away. You can clearly see what's the problem. Let's see. Or let's say 1. Okay. Actually, let's just say false. So it's easier. Well. Okay, well, okay, in Emacs it's nil and true. Okay, so it's nil, and last one is true, let's say. Now, if you are designing a programming, remember there's parallel computation. So when you see a or, mathematically means if any one of these items is true, it should return true. Okay? So when you have a situation, you can start parallel computation. Today we have like several cores, CPU cores or whatever. it eventually is gonna happen. We don't have that like 15 years ago. Then started, multi-core, two-core, dual-core Intel, whatever Intel fuck, or threads. If you are a C type of programmer, C++ or Java idiots, or the Rust idiots, these people are kind of idiots because they have no sense of mathematics. They just know bit diddling. That's what they are good at. Okay, so if you have in all these languages, when you have or, which means mathematically it's a logical operation. Remember the roots. It's logic. If there's any one item that's true, return true. So when you have or, you can start a parallel computation. If you have 1,000 CPUs or whatnot, you can run, you can dispatch, and each, whenever a thread or a core get one, it sends back information. Then you can stop, ignore all the rest. Okay, but that's not how things are done. In typical programming languages, almost all, except a few, when you have all, they have to do sequential evaluation. So they check this one, then they check next one, check next one, until if any one of them is true, then they stop evaluate. Okay, so for example, when they reach here, they stop and return. Okay, so this is why. But this is not, but if you have these semantics, then you cannot do parallel computation. Your compiler cannot automatically start a parallel computation. Doesn't matter if you have 10,000 CPUs. So basically, the programming language put a major restriction on the semantics. There's a good reason for that too, because historically, we don't have, multiple CPUs. It's all sequential, so that's why it's natural. Things are this way, okay? But anyway, so people started to use this sequential evaluation. This is a gist, okay? The semantic of all function or operator in almost all languages, is sequential evaluation. That's fundamental. So if you have sequential evaluation, then you can start to use or as a branch control. You see, or x or 2. So if this x returns true, then stop. Just return x. Otherwise, close that. Otherwise, return true. Okay, I'm kind of going too much. So anyway, I think you get the idea. So, here's an essay, and Edgar W. Dijkstra agree with me. He wrote an article about it. Okay, he's famous for flaming, these programmer idiots. You see, he says the conditional connectives C_AND and C_OR for short are less innocent than they might seem at first sight. For instance, C_OR does not distribute over C_AND compare blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he wrote something similar. Anyway, that's a major digression. So usually when I use OR, it's only for logical purposes. Okay, I never use OR or abuse OR for branch control. I always use if statement. Okay, so that's a digression. Let's get back to this problem. So if the file name extension, if file extension is defined, then just return that. Okay, otherwise the file name extension will be none. Okay, so yeah, can we do none? Yeah, so let's try again. Yep. So if it's not defined, and then it's just empty string. Okay, so that's what we do here, and here we just do there. Okay, so if the file name extension is empty, it's nil, then if it's valid, then return that. Otherwise, empty string. Okay, then what happens if you do, oh, okay, so actually, backslash dot empty string. I mean, can you do that? Yeah, I think so. No, actually, if you do that, no. Okay. Yeah, so actually we need to fix it. So, okay, then let's just do that. So file name extension, if file name extension, then that, otherwise empty, okay, something like that. So let's change the name, file name extension, God. GX, so I need to type harder. So there, file name extension regular expression, okay, if there, that, then that, otherwise empty, okay, yeah. So now that, okay, so I think that's it. So so what is this? Validate bracket, yeah, you can call it, and here test code, we don't care. And oh, okay, so now the next issue is about ignore git. Yeah, that's a problematic thing. So now you need to look at the predicate, okay, is a filter on which subdirectory to dive into. Neo dive into all subdirectories. Function f, if f returns true, dive into that, else not. F is past a subdirectory full path, okay? You kind of need a function, so this will be the lambda predicate. X is the full path of a directory. Now, so if the directory name is .git, the just the name, not the full path, then return neo, okay? So that's kind of, yeah, that's one thing we can do. There's another issue about interface design, because if you do this, if we write this function and put it here, then basically we are hard coding it, so it will just all ignore .git. But what about, I mean, there's a bunch of other directories you probably want to ignore, you know, for example, AG, Silver, whatever, you know, the Unix crap, okay? This .git and, you know, this dot is created by the Unix fuckheads. Let me explain that one. Because, for example, this is a concrete example. Why should we care? I mean, what, you know, so we have a Git, you know, for example, actually, I was working on I updated my Git tutorial. Can you see where, let's just go to it, okay? Practical Git in an hour, okay? How to add a file, how to commit file, you know, Git is very useful, you know. So, yeah, so I use Git. But now, it created a .git fuck. Am I concerned? That's not my file. I'm using a tool, and this tool shit a bunch of shit in my toolbox. That's what happening with that, okay? That's what actually happening. You know, the Unixers, they got brainwashed. They thought this is natural. You know, it's natural. Of course, obviously you have .git or whatever is, you know, when you use some other, because, oh yeah, because you know, there's something. No. I use the Git, okay, fantastic tool, but the tool should not create random shit in my directory. You can create you can, if you need this shit, you should create it in your specific designated directory. Okay, for example, on Mac you have file forks. That's another thing. Meta information. So because this is not my thing. Why are you putting shit in my box? That's what the Unix do. Because the Unix fuckheads, the Unix philosophy and Linux idiots, they just code whatever is convenient. It's the most easy to code. If I'm implementing Git, let's just create a .git special. This is a special thing in your directory. Okay, that's what the Unix people do. Fuck the Unix people. And it become norm. Like people don't know, become, this is normal. This is normal. That's what Unix people do. Okay, so let's go back here. For now, let's just hard code it. Okay, so if so now you need to get the file name, the directory name from a file path. Okay, directory name from a file path. So let's go to eLisp worker directory name from a file path. Okay, so file path functions. Let's look at all the file path functions. File name directory. Okay, no, file name none directory. Yeah, okay, maybe that. So let's test file name none directory. Okay, and so this is a directory. Copy that, put it here. Okay, then evaluate it. What do we get? Empty. Okay, that's not right. So actually we want you see, this returns empty because so this non-directory is supposed to return a file name, but we just want the directory name. File name base, file name split, file relative name. What is it? File name directory. Okay, I think that's file name directory. File name directory. Yeah, so let's try that. So evaluate it. Yeah, but it gives the full path. We don't want the full path. We just want the last path. So is it file name base? Return the base name of file name, no directory, no extension. Okay. File name base. Okay. Well, file name. Okay, let's see if that works. Empty string. No. What the fuck? Expand file name, true file name. Wait. Absolute parent directory. This file name parent directory is new in Emacs 29. I think 29 or 28. Okay, how long have I been talking? 50 minutes. Okay. Tarek, this channel talk about different things. Usually Emacs, Lisp, Unix, programming languages, programming language design, Wolfram language, and keyboards, lots of keyboard and mouse and lots of my rant. Okay, so usually if you just want pure tutorial on Emacs, Lisp, sometimes I do that. Sometimes it's just focused like yesterday, but sometimes I go into a rant. Hi sir, what do you think about Terry A. Davis? That's another frequently asked question because the 5-second answer is that he's a relatively great programmer, but he's got a severe mental problem, which is which is called schizophrenic. Okay, that means you see illusions, you see things and you hear things that's not it there. So Terry A. Davis has got that. That affected some, some great mathematicians also got that problem. One of the great mathematicians, that's there's a movie made out of that mathematician. What's his name? Beautiful, a Beautiful Life or something. Anyway, I forgot the name at the moment. But anyway, schizophrenic. Okay, it's a serious. That's not just a mental problem. Okay, like a lot of us, maybe you have lots of stress. You have, you are kind of a social, or you are borderline personality, or you are histrionic. You need to make a drama to be center of attention all the time. You have to talk nonstop. Some people are like that. Or you are schizoid like me, which is kind of a loner. We don't go out much. All these are, and then you have bipolar, you have maniac, there's personality disorders. But then schizophrenic, that's not just a personality disorder. That's something seriously wrong in your brain. Okay, you see illusions. So that's what he's have, and he killed himself. But then these Zoomer idiots, the fucking Zoomers today, online, the 4chan, or Reddit channels, they just, oh, Terry Davis, do you like gay? Oh, yeah, they don't care about nothing. They just like the drama, and that's what happens. That's what happens with today's generation. Okay, so let's get back to this. We can finish this in 5 minutes, Okay, so right now I just want the directory name, file name. Let's see. So given a file full path, that's a directory. We just want the directory. Wait, why is it file name directory? Let's see. So let's see. File name non-directory, file name directory, file name extension, file name sans extension. Wait, what is it? I'm pretty sure I've used this quite a few times, but wait, file relative name, expand file name, file true name, no. File name with extensions, join file path, file name concat. Okay, so file name directory name P, file name as directory, basically add a slash. Yeah, I don't think that's it. File name as directory. Okay, so for example, we can double check, run that. Yeah, it just returns itself. We just want, for example, the last part. So what is it? I don't think it's a parent directory, but we can try. But I don't want to use this command because God, my macro keys doesn't work, because now I'm using a QWERTY layout. So Control C to copy. So for example, if we call that, yeah, that returns the parent directory. That's not what we want. File name components, directory names. Directory file name. Wait, how come I don't have that? Directory file name. Okay, let's try that. It returns the full path. No, I don't want full path. Wait, huh? I can't believe. Yeah, we wasted a lot of time on this, but okay, let's just do a regular expression, okay? String match, okay? String match, the string is the X, which is a full path to a directory, and the regular expression is just let's check git, okay? Let's just check that. // okay? Start, we don't care, okay? So this is our function to check if it's a git directory. I was trying to be more proper by, actually getting the directory name itself, but this will work, okay? So we need to put this in this directory file recursively, a predicate, I believe, here. By the way, Emacs work directory facilities sucks. Okay, so there is a predicate. The documentation predicate can be either nil, which means all subdirectories are descended into, or true, which means all subdirectories that can be read are ignored, okay? Or a function, okay, which is called with the name of each subdirectory and should return true if the subdirectory is to be descended into, okay? So wait, where is the position of the predicate? Emacs Lisp doesn't have named parameters, so you have to, so every parameter is ordered. So the regular expression include directories and predicate, okay? So we need a neo here, okay? Then this function lambda string, this function just check if match git. If it does, then neo, okay? So we need to not reverse it, okay? So we got that, okay? So now what do we do with that? Cut. Put it there and go back here, okay? So we essentially complete this. I think that's it. So validate directory and check only files with file name extension. Let's give a full documentation. If file name extension is nil, do all. Let's just say sloppy writing. Let's just say do all now. And also .git is ignored, okay? Because we hard coded it. We have to think about fixing later, okay? So one more time, last check. Regular expression, file path, regular expression, file name extension. This is all file path, and then you just map that to all file path. Okay. Now, what if when this is called interactively, like when you do meta-x? So in that case, you need to create a value for the directory and current and file extension. So let's just put it here. Let's add it. Okay. So interactive. Okay. So we need to eventually create a list. Okay, so current default directory is whatever the current buffer's directory. So when you call this interactively, the directory is gonna be default directory. And what about file name extension? Let's just say HTML. Actually, let's say the current file's extension. Okay, let's get elaborate. So by default, it will use the file name extension of whatever is the current buffer's file name extension, if that exists, okay? So let's do that here. So buffer file name that returns the full path of the current buffer's file if it is visiting a file. So okay, so this can get complex. if there's a if the current buffer is actually a file, then you get file name extension. Okay, buffer file name. So buffer file name, then you get the file name extension if there is actually an extension. But what if it something tdt? What does it return? Nil. Okay, so when there's no extension, it returns nil. Okay, what about dot? Okay, so when there is the extension, then you just get the file name extension. Otherwise you need another if statements. Otherwise, what the fuck? Let's just say HTML something. Let's see. So if the current buffer is a file, and if that file has a file name extension, then use that. But if that file does not have file name extension, okay, the proper way is to prompt it. Now we got too many nested, so the proper way is actually to prompt, ask user what but usually I don't do that because it's a better user interface design that you never prompt. Okay, you don't want when user runs some command and sometimes it prompts, sometimes it doesn't. Either it always prompt or it never prompt. Okay, that is a better user interface design, because that way you adapt your muscle memory. When you run this command, there's no prompt. You just do whatever. If there's an issue, it'll tell you. But doesn't like stop in the middle. Oh, but by the way, I can't find the directory. Can you type something? Unexpectedly, because sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. Then when you call the command, you have to think about, is my current buffer associated with a file? Does it have an extension? You don't want that. So usually that's a better design principle. Emacs doesn't, support that. The most prominent example is when you save file, when you kill buffer. For example, when you do kill buffer, if the buffer is not saved, it will prompt. But first of all, it idiotically, it prompts you, are you sure this is a current buffer? That's idiotic. Then if you say yes, then you'll say, buffer is modified, kill anyway. That's very annoying. Okay, but if the buffer is not modified, it doesn't ask that. So whenever you call this command, you have like unexpected, it's not muscle memory, so you don't want that. So anyway, so if otherwise prompt. Okay, so wait, if buffer file name, then okay, if buffer is a file, then get that file name, otherwise prompt. Okay, let's just say prompt for oh wait, actually let's just say nil. Okay, because down the road here it will deal with nil here. So here is also nil. Okay, so you got the default directory and you got the file name extension. If it cannot find it, then it's nil. So when it's nil, so this part will fill out the value for these two, possibly not that one. So that one over here, it will check if it's given. Yeah, why am I searching back? Okay, so right here, if it's given, then just do that. Otherwise, it's just empty string. Okay, I think that's it. So since we don't have local variables, we can replace that by PROGN, which is just group. Okay, save it, evaluate the buffer, error, no opening bracket. What? Evaluate the buffer. Oh god, we got a syntax error, no opening bracket. What? Wait, where's the error? No opening bracket for that. Okay, so actually, oh yeah, so I know why, because we are running this. Delete that, evaluate the buffer. Okay, so we got this command. Now let's try it. Validate brackets. Where do we try it? Let's go to talkshow directory. Okay, so talkshow directory, you have 800, 900 files. So let's open this file, AI morality. So it's my podcast talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and ethics. Okay, now let's call metax validate brackets enter. So okay, it got errors. So it says no opening bracket for that at position 22157 in this file. Okay, so open that file, show in browser. So this file, this old file, Emily's hexadecimal, 6-based watch, she programmed her iWatch to do it. So, but anyway, in this file, it's saying I'm missing an opening bracket. Let's see where's the error. See, at this position. So let's go to char tn. Okay, space tn. Go to char 22517. Do it. Oh, there, because it's a smiley. You see. So that is why, usually when I check brackets, let's close that, close that, go, okay, so go back here, lookup, close that, go here. So I don't like to check this, this paren, because this these are often abused, to make smileys and stuff. So usually I only check these others. Okay, let's do it again. So evaluate the buffer, go to XAR talk show, metax validate brackets brackets valid, you are beautiful, 597 times, fantastic. Now let's go to one of these files. Let's say, pick a random file. Let's say that one, and let's secretly add a mismatched bracket. Okay, there it is. Secret mismatch bracket. Save it, close it. Now metax validate brackets do it. Error. Fantastic. You see, it's no secret to the program. In this file, at position 384, you are missing a opening bracket for that. Okay, now open that file, expand it. Let's move the cursor somewhere. Now let's see. Let's go to char 384. Do it. Fantastic. Now delete it. Fantastic. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Did you enjoy the show? So how many people do I have? Let's say 10 maybe. Oh, 4. Oh, okay. John Nash, A Beautiful Mind. Yes, John Nash is one of the greatest mathematician, top 100 in the past 100 years. But he's got a schizophrenic, serious, which is a serious problem because you see illusions. You living with your friends, with your relative. It doesn't, because you think they are doing something, but they are not. Illusions. So that's a serious problem. That's why they found it to be more prevalent in children born during war and starvation. Okay. Delusions, yes. Terry Davis, I watched some of his videos. Like, I have a friend which is like 4chan type of people, young guy. 15 years ago, he told me first about Terry Davis, the TempleOS. It's interesting too, because Terry Davis, he's creating a God's operating system. This is God told him to do it, and it's for God or whatever, Christian things. Okay, I'm not Christian, but then, and it's quite interesting because I watched a few videos. It's got a built-in, like a variation of C programming language he created, and a compiler and everything, and also a 3D modeler, a game, inside. So it's quite interesting and creative. Yeah, and then he's like talking about Terry Davis got this problem. He's saying this word. Why can't we say it? Because the fucking deep state scums. That's a Google. Right now it's a Google. It's Google, Facebook. All the others. Okay, I got a phone call. I gotta pick up. Okay. Okay, I gotta go. Sorry. So actually, shut down. I gotta go. So okay, I'll be back.